Ranking up in CSGO is a mess, as I'm sure we all know by now. So today, let's talk about some tips to improve your gameplay and how to actually rank up on CSGO, ideally by your own, how to take some map control by yourself and help your team based off that, and just some other tips and tricks that will help you become a better player and help you rank up. So if you do enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you're new to the channel and in the 85% of people that watch my content but aren't yet subscribed, be sure to do that as well. We're getting really close to 17k, and it'd be sick if we could get to 20k by the end of the month. The channel has been growing crazy fast recently, and subscribing really does mean a lot to me. But for now, let's get right into the video. The first thing I want to talk about is lurking, entering, and just what you should be doing on the map to help your team. This footage is from my latest adventure on Mirage, to say the least, because, you know, queuing gold over Mirage is always a lot of fun. Sorry it's a bit laggy, the CSGO demo system kind of sucks, but one thing you must understand if you're more of a passive player is timing, and when to go out with your team. In this play, since I'm just playing in Gold Nova with my friends, I simply just wait for my teammate, or many teammates in this case, to run out a ramp, have the A players focused on them, and I'm able to walk through the palace smoke. Now, this is a low rank, and it's not guaranteed to work in all of your games. There might be a window player, there might be an opper holding jungle, but if you have somebody taking mid presence, just keeping that opper there, or have a jungle smoke, that's completely negated. But the only thing you have to really pay attention to is that even if you're smoked off, you aren't forced to sit behind that smoke. Run out with your team, you'll probably have info as to where the CTs are if you let your team go out first and then go out like a second or two later, and you'll be able to help entry and get a trade potentially if things go kinda wrong or your teammates die on the entry while making space. If your team says they're rushing out A, don't be that guy that lurks B-apps and practically has no impact kills in the round. Go play passive Mirage and try to lurk out on one of the A players or something like this, or just flat out go with your team. Even if you don't help them entry, you're gonna have util to back them up and stall time for the retake. So be sure to communicate with your team for proper timing, or honestly, just look at your minimap so you know when to go out or potentially where the enemies are gonna be if it's not calmed. But as long as your team is making noise for you, making space for you, you should be able to lurk out, potentially out of a smoke, or just walk out palace and then kill a potential CT that isn't holding for you or just out of position. So our first lesson is, don't just be the guy who goes to the opposite side of the map just to get a cheesy kill that probably won't affect the round during a fast play. If you're slowing it down a bit and defaulting as a team, you can do this, but just let your team know what the game plan is, what pace you want to take the round at, who's going to be going where at the beginning of the round, and that's okay. Then you can play slow and spread out. But if you're just rushing one site, don't just go to the opposite end of the map. It doesn't help your team at all. The second thing I want to talk about is knowing when to fall back, which is often the downfall of newer players, as they kind of just think getting kills is important. That's all I really have to do if I'm holding a site, but that's not it at all. Both putting yourself in a bad position that doesn't allow you much space to work with, it just ends up screwing over your teammate most of the time and screwing over you when this happens, even if you get a kill. A prime example of this is on Inferno A site. This is the example I always use. Newer players have absolutely no clue how the hell to hold top mid, and it's pretty frustrating if you're new and either just getting a kill and then getting overwhelmed, or your site player is dying by the time you're still alive and getting a kill. So something about top mid on Inferno is that if your arch player dies, the site player is pretty much screwed, and vice versa honestly. They're all alone, getting pinned from 3 different angles on site, and you can't do anything about it if you're a B player retaking, or you're just stuck at arch and your site player dies right away. So what exactly should you do about this? Well, as an arch player, being versatile to the inevitable push that's gonna come A is something you have to do. If you're getting pressured with smokes or see a T trying to push top mid, you can't just keep re-peeking for the kill. You have to use your nades and fall back to support your site player, or make sure the Ts don't wrap CT spawn. Not just get a kill or two, die to the mid player, and let your side player get overwhelmed. Even if it's a 3v3 going into the retake, your B players probably won't be there yet, and as Aeon Inferno is one of the hardest sites to retake as a CT in CSGO, just keep that in mind when you're potentially going for a risky play or over-aggressing as a CT. It can definitely cost you the round, even though it may seem like you're just giving up one kill. All you have to think about is, how important is my position? Always be ready to fall back and have a game plan if you get pushed. Where should I be running to? What nade should I throw to counter it? Should I ask my teammates for a support flash? Stuff like that. And this isn't just on Inferno. Think about this anytime you might go for something aggressive as a CT, like pushing a ramp on Mirage, or just something random like that, and how it's going to affect your site players, or how you should ask them to support you. Before we get into our final tip for the video, let's go over a quick sponsorship from, once again, CSGO Selly. CSGO Selly is an easy to use site to sell your skins. All you have to do is go to your inventory, find an item to sell, and the site will find a buyer. CSGO Selly beats other insta-sell sites by up to 40% in price in some cases. They also have 13 different cash out options ranging from worldwide bank transfer to crypto to PayPal. So be sure to check them out if you want to sell your CSGO skins. Link at the top of the description. But for now, let's get back into our final tip for the video. So understanding your role on the team is great, but sometimes even that isn't enough to win matches. Like, your teammates might flat out just suck. So this is why my final tip for the video is having a good map pool, or at least 2 good maps that you need to get good at. And I'm not just talking about a Mirage and a Dust 2. The thing about Mirage and Dust 2, and I actually covered this in a recent video, but pretty much everybody knows how to play them, making it so you can sometimes just get wrecked by players that aren't as good as you, and simply just run around and pug on the map, just hold W and get kills, as they're kind of just maps you can run around on and just simply click people's heads off. Learning a map like Nuke, for example, where you can dominate people outside on T side simply by knowing smokes and getting secret control, or knowing flashes into A or how to take ramp properly, can heavily improve your win rate. Preferably if you have some people to queue with, as solo queuing is honestly quite a gamble in CSGO. Or just having teammates that listen to what you communicate if you're at a somewhat higher level of play. Overpass is another good one for this, and Vertigo honestly is another good one to look at as well. Definitely expand your horizons when it comes to picking CSGO maps if you're just looking at ranking up, as playing Mirage, Dust 2, Cache, kind of just maps where you run around and click heads, rather than playing something like Overpass, knowing how to take water control at B, then working with your team to group up and do something, or just something along the lines of this. I'm just using it as an example. Just figure out a map you like, a map you understand, and whatever works for you, and you'll have a much easier time performing better as you play more and learn the map more. There's tons of YouTube videos as well on just how to learn maps, what plays you should be making, how you should play around smokes, and stuff like this. This is just flat out going to help you win more matches and rank up, so please don't just stick to like Mirage and Dust 2. But besides that, I think that does pretty much wrap it up for this video. So if you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Help your boy get to 20,000 subscribers, almost at 17K. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.